Jai Hind friends. In last lecture we have discussed surface integral of a vector function. We have seen that surface integral of a function f over a surface S is given by integral over S f dot n cap ds, where n cap is unit normal vector to the given surface S. We now understand what surface integral represents, that is, interpretation of surface integral. If the vector field f represents the flow of a fluid, then the surface integral of f will represent the amount of fluid flowing through the surface per unit time. It is also called flux. If water is flowing perpendicular to the surface, a lot of water will flow through the surface and the flux will be large. If water is flowing parallel to the surface, water will not flow through the surface, and in that case the flux will be 0. We now move towards evaluation of surface integral. How can we evaluate a surface integral? We are now going to learn this concept. Whenever we are to evaluate a surface integral, the function whose surface integral is to be calculated, that is function f, and the surface through which surface integral is required, both of these must be known to us. Therefore, I have written the function f and the surface S are always given. Now, we shall find normal vector of the given surface, because in surface integral a vector like n cap was occurring. So, we shall calculate vector n for given surface, which is normal vector to the surface. This normal vector will be calculated using gradient of f, where f will be calculated from given surface. Then we shall calculate f dot n cap. F is given to us. This vector n will be converted to unit vector, and then we shall find value of f dot n. Then we shall calculate ds by using dx dy upon mod of k dot n. Now, the projection of the surface on xy plane will be considered, and this projection will be used to find resulting double integral. I sum up. The function f and the surface must be known to us before evaluating surface integral. We shall first find normal vector to the surface using gradient of f, and this vector will be vector n. We shall then find unit vector n cap, so that f dot n cap can be calculated. After this, ds will be calculated using the formula dx dy upon mod of k dot n. Now, projection of the surface S on xy plane will be considered, and this projection will be used to evaluate resulting double integral. We shall understand this process with the help of example. Example says, evaluate integral over S a dot n ds, this surface integral, where a equals x plus y square I cap minus 2x j cap plus 2yz k cap, and S is the surface of the plane 2x plus y plus 2z equal to 6 in the first octant. As I already mentioned, that whenever a surface integral is to be evaluated, the function and the surface both must be known to us. Here function a is given and the surface S is also mentioned, so we can try to evaluate the surface integral. To evaluate the surface integral, we require the integrand a dot n ds. Here a is given, n cap and ds both will be calculated, and then this integrand will be written inside integral. we know that n cap is normal vector to this surface S. So, we shall find normal vector to given surface. We know that gradient was used to calculate normal vector for the surface. So, I calculate gradient of this function 2x plus y plus 2z. A vector normal to the surface S is given by gradient of this, because I recall that the equation phi x y z equal to c was equation of a surface, and if I consider this left hand side, then its gradient gives normal vector to this surface. So, here value of phi will be 2x plus y plus 2z. So, we are calculating gradient of this function. This del operator was nothing but I cap del over del x plus j cap del over del y plus k cap del over del z. Applying del over del x on this, I obtain del over del x of this function will give 2, del over del y of this function will give 1, other terms will be 0, and del over del z applied on this will give 2k cap, and it is the value of gradient of this function. This value, the vector obtained will be normal vector to this surface 2x plus y plus 2z equal to 6. Now, because we require n cap here, so I convert this vector to unit normal vector, and for this we shall divide this vector by its modulus. Vector is 2i cap plus j cap plus 2k cap. Its modulus will be 2 square plus 1 square plus 2 square whole under root, that is 4 plus 1 plus 4, and it will become here root 9, which will be 3, and can be written as 2 upon 3 I cap plus 1 upon 3 j cap plus 2 upon 3 k cap. I have calculated vector n cap. Now, a dot n will be calculated. This expression was the expression for vector a. This value is the value of vector n cap. Taking dot product, the terms of I will be written together, terms of j will be written together, terms of k will be written together, and I obtain this expression x plus y square times 2 upon 3 minus 2x times 1 upon 3, 2yz times 2 upon 3, and I obtain this expression. Now, when we simplify this term and this term, both will cancel out, and I am left with this expression. Now, here this value is involving z, because we are going to take shadow on xy plane, so the terms of z must be removed. To remove terms of z, we shall convert this z into x and y using the equation of given surface. Now, the given surface is this plane. On this plane, z will be 6 minus 2x minus y upon 2. Transposing x and y towards right hand side, I will obtain z equal to 6 minus 2x minus y upon 2. This z will be replaced by its value. Now, we can simplify it. This 2 upon 3y from here can be taken outside. This term reduces to simply y, and it becomes 6 minus 2x minus y. Further simplification, this y and this minus y will cancel out, and I obtain this term 4 upon 3y bracket 3 minus x as the value of a dot n cap. Now, ds is dx dy upon mod k dot n. N was this vector which we have calculated earlier. Taking dot product, only this term will remain and remaining 2 will be 0. So, value of k dot n is 2 upon 3. Now, a dot n is calculated, ds is calculated. So, the integral over S a dot n ds will take this form. This is the value of a dot n. ds is dx dy upon mod of k dot n, and this 2 upon 3 will occur in denominator, and this 3 is shifted in numerator to obtain this expression. Simplifying, this 3 and this 3 are cancelled out, and this term is left as the value of integral over S a dot n ds. Now, this integral, which is now a double integral on xy plane, because I have replaced S by R, the projection of S on xy plane, which is to be evaluated. To evaluate this double integral, I need limits of x and y. To find the limits of x and y, I need an area, which will be used to find the limits. Now, how to find limits of this double integral, let us understand. First of all, we recall that part of this plane in positive octant was R surface. I shall imagine what is this plane. If I recall that this equation can be written as x upon 3 plus y upon 6 plus z upon 3 equal to 1, which is of the form x upon a plus y upon b plus z upon c equal to 1. So, it is a plane whose x intercept is 3, y intercept is 6 and z intercept is 3. So, this plane will look like this. This plane is looking like this, which is represented by this triangle LMN. Now, we shall take its projection on xy plane. The projection, that is shadow of this plane on xy plane, will be this triangle here. This triangle on xy plane will be used to find limits of this double integral. If I want to find limits of this double integral through this triangle, I need to know what is the equation of this line LM. To find this equation, I can see that this line is intersection of this plane with xy plane. So, putting z equal to 0 in the equation of plane, I can obtain equation of this line. So, substituting z equal to 0 in this equation, I obtain 2x plus y equal to 6, which is equation of this line on xy plane. I have drawn this triangle in separate figure, because then it will be convenient for us to find the limits. This line 2x plus y equal to 6 is drawn here. This is x axis, so its equation will be y equal to 0. This is y axis, its equation will be x equal to 0. This point L, where this line meets x axis, will be 3, 0, because putting y equal to 0, I obtain 3. Now, this triangle will be used to find limits of this double integral. For this, I am slicing this triangle into vertical strips, because we are using vertical strips. So, limits of y will be written inside. The lowest point of this strip is lying on this x axis, and the value of y from this x axis is 0. So, lower limit of y will be 0. The topmost point of this strip is lying on this straight line. This equation gives value of y as 6 minus 2x, and it will be the upper limit of y. Now, over this region, x varies from 0 to 3, therefore, limits of x are from 0 to 3. These limits will be applied here and integral will be evaluated. Applying these limits, the limits of y are written inside 0 to 6 minus 2x. Limits of x are written outside 0 to 3. The integrand remains unchanged. Now I shall evaluate the integral. We shall first integrate with respect to y. Integrating with respect to y, this y will give y square upon 2. Limits of y will be applied. This 2 will be cancelled out. Applying limits, I will obtain 3 minus x times 6 minus 2x whole square. 2 can be taken common from this bracket and 4 will come outside, and this term will become 3 minus x whole square. This 3 minus x is already written here, so it will become 4 times 3 minus x whole cube. Limits from 0 to 3. Integrating, it will give 3 minus x whole to the power 4 upon 4, minus 1 in division because coefficient of x is minus 1. Applying limits, substituting 3, everything will be 0. Substituting x equal to 0, it will be minus 81, and the value of integral is 81. Let me explain once again what we have done. This surface integral was to be evaluated. The function a and the surface must be given. They were with us, so we could try to find surface integral. First of all, I calculated n cap. For this, grad phi for this function was calculated. The value so obtained was vector m. This vector was converted to unit vector, and unit vector n cap was written as this. Now a dot n was calculated. This a dot n was involving z, so I removed this z using the equation of surface, because we are going to take projection on xy plane, so removal of z is necessary. Simplifying, I obtain the value of a dot n. ds is dx dy upon mod k dot n, and this k dot n was calculated, and simplifying, I obtained the value of the integrand as 2y bracket 3 minus x dy dx. Now to evaluate this double integral, I drawn what is our given surface, then what will be its projection on xy plane. Its projection on xy plane was used to find limits of x and y. Those limits were applied, and evaluating double integral, we obtained the value of this surface integral. It must be noted here that we have taken projection on xy plane, but if there is surface which is perpendicular to xy plane, then in that case the projection on xy plane will not work, and so we will be required to take projection on some other plane, and accordingly the formula for ds will change. In this problem, because surface is not perpendicular to any of the planes, so we can take projection on yz plane also, we can take projection on xz plane also, and the things will change accordingly. Now we understand our next idea of volume integral. Let we have a function defined over a region in a space. This is a region in a space, and a function is defined in this region. Break up the region into many small pieces as shown here. Multiply the volume of each tiny piece by the value of the function in one of the point in that piece. Add up all the products. Take limit as the volume of the tiny pieces approaches 0. The quantity so obtained is called a volume integral. That is, in surface integral, we have chopped out surface into small pieces. In volume integral, we are doing same thing with volume, nothing great here. Now, we move towards next important idea, which is Gauss divergence theorem. Gauss divergence theorem is very important topic of vector calculus. Sometimes we say simply divergence theorem, sometimes we say Gauss divergence theorem. Both will mean exactly same thing. Theorem says that the surface integral of the normal component of a vector function f taken around a closed surface S is equal to the integral of the divergence of f taken over the volume V enclosed by the surface S. Mathematically, integral over S f dot n ds is equal to triple integral or volume integral over V divergence f dv. Let us understand what theorem exactly means. Theorem says that if we want to evaluate this integral f dot n cap ds, surface integral, which we have evaluated in previous slides. If we want to evaluate this surface integral over a closed surface, here S is closed surface, then this surface integral can be converted into a volume integral of divergence of this function f, where V is the volume enclosed by this closed surface. Thus, this Gauss divergence theorem converts a surface integral over a closed curve into the volume integral over the volume bounded by that closed surface. The main requirement of Gauss divergence theorem is that the surface must be closed, because if surface is not closed, then there will be no volume bounded by this, and in that case theorem will not be applicable. Thus, if we have surface of a sphere, then this sphere is closed surface, so divergence theorem will be applicable for this spherical surface. If we have a cuboid, which is again closed surface, divergence theorem will also be applicable to this cuboid. If I have a cylinder bounded by both of these ends, then it is again closed surface, so divergence theorem can be applied to this cylinder also. But if I have this surface hemisphere, then this is not closed, it is open from here, so divergence theorem cannot be applied to this surface. Similarly, if we have an ellipse or elliptical region, or we have a parallelogram or quadrilateral, then we cannot apply divergence theorem for these surfaces, because these are not considered to be closed surface. Now, we move towards example. Example says, find integral over S f dot n ds, where f equals 2x plus 3z I cap minus xz plus yj cap plus y square plus 2z k cap, and S is the surface of the sphere having center at this and radius 3. We want to evaluate this integral f dot n cap ds. This is a surface integral. The surface given here is a surface of a sphere. A sphere is closed surface, and therefore we can apply Gauss divergence theorem in this case. So, let us assume that V is the volume bounded by this closed surface S. Then, by Gauss divergence theorem, integral over S f dot n ds will be written as divergence f dv. Now, we recall that divergence of a vector function f was del f1 over del x plus del f2 over del y plus del f3 over del z. Here f1, f2 and f3 were components of f. So this will be del over del x of 2x plus 3z plus del over del y of minus xz minus y plus del over del z of y square plus 2z. This term will give 2. Differentiating it with respect to y, this xz will be 0. I will obtain minus 1 and this term will give 2. Simplification gives 3 times triple integral over v dv. We know that there is merely 1 inside a triple integral, then it represents volume of the region. So this integral will give 3 times v, where v is the volume of this region bounded by the surface S. Now we shall calculate 3v, and substituting its value directly here, the value of this surface integral will be evaluated. Because this surface is a surface of a sphere, therefore v will be volume of a sphere. We remember that volume of a sphere is 4 upon 3 pi r cube, where r is the radius of a sphere. So it will be 4 upon 3 pi times 3 cube, because radius of a sphere is 3, and simplifying I obtain 36 pi. Substituting this value in place of v, the value of this f dot n ds will be 3 times 36 pi, which is 108 pi. Let me sum up once again. This surface integral f dot n ds was to be calculated. Function f was given. The surface was also given. To evaluate this surface integral, I calculated divergence f dv, because by divergence theorem both of these will be equal. The divergence of this f came out to be 3. So the function occurring inside integral will be was 1. So it will become volume. Volume of what? Volume of this surface S. The surface was the surface of a sphere. So volume of the surface will be volume of a sphere, that is 4 upon 3 pi r cube. I calculated volume. Substituting here, I calculated the value of this surface integral. Here we can see that the surface integral was calculated in very simple way by using divergence theorem. If we try to evaluate this surface integral by usual process, then it will become very tedious, because this sphere is not a standard sphere, means its center is not origin. So it will be very difficult to evaluate the surface integral by usual process. Now we take one more example to understand divergence theorem when the function inside integral is not 1. Example says, if f equals 4xz I cap minus y square j cap plus yz k cap, and S is the surface bounded by x equal to 0, y equal to 0, z equal to 0, x equal to 1, y equal to 1, z equal to 1, evaluate integral over S f dot n cap ds. This function f is given. Surface S is also given, and we are required to find integral over S f dot n cap ds. We know that x equal to 0, y equal to 0 and z equal to 0. These are equations of coordinate planes. X equal to 1 is a plane parallel to the plane x equal to 0, that is yz plane. Y equal to 1 is a plane parallel to y equal to 0, that is xz plane, and similarly z equal to 1 is parallel to this xy plane. Thus there are 6 planes. 6 planes constitutes a cuboid, and here because x equal to y equal to z, length, breadth and height of the cuboid are equal, and therefore it will be a cube. Cube means closed surface, and therefore there is no problem in applying divergence theorem. So, by divergence theorem, integral over S f dot n ds will be written as del dot f dv. Here del dot f will give del over del x of 4xz plus del over del y of minus y square plus del over del z of yz. Del over del x of this term will give 4z. Del over del y of this term will give minus 2y. Del over del z will give y, and this expression is converted to this form. Because the volume is volume bounded by this sphere, this cube, so the limits of x can be directly found from the dimensions, or I should say geometry of cube, and therefore the limits of x will be from 0 to 1, limits of y will be from 0 to 1, limits of z will be from 0 to 1. Now integration will be performed with respect to z. Integrating with respect to z, I obtain 2z square minus yz. Applying limits of z, I get this expression 2 minus y dx dy. Now integration will be performed with respect to y. Integrating with respect to y, I obtain 2y minus y square upon 2. Applying limits, I obtain 3 by 2 0 to 1 dx, and it is the simply 3 upon 2, which is the value of this surface integral. Let me sum up once again. This function f was given, S was surface of a cube, and we were required to find this surface integral f dot n ds. I used Gauss divergence theorem. The value of del dot f was calculated. The limits of x, y and z were directly given. There was no work required to find the limits. So we have applied those limits, and applying those limits, integration were performed with respect to z, y and x one by one, and then the value of integral was calculated. In this problem, we can again see that how useful Gauss divergence theorem is, because there are 6 faces in the given cube. If I have used this Gauss divergence theorem, then we could easily find the value of surface integral. But if we do not use Gauss divergence theorem, then there are 6 different faces and 6 different equations for this surface integral. So I need to calculate 6 surface integral, each for different face, and then these surface integrals will be added to give the value of surface integral. Obviously it will be quite lengthy, and that is why we can understand what is the use of Gauss divergence theorem. Thus today we have understood what is surface integral, how to calculate surface integral. Then we learnt Gauss divergence theorem, which gives alternate method to find surface integral over a specific type of surface, and then we have discussed examples to understand Gauss divergence theorem. In next lecture we will study Stokes theorem, which will be last topic of this module. Thank you.